Welcome to Hallow. It's me. I'm Isabella Lavornia, and I will be your host today, your ghost host. Today is a very spooky guest. We have the co-founder and president of Spooky Ospreys, Mac Anderson.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you for being here. Well, to get us started, I would just like to ask, what inspired you to start this club?
Of course. So I really wanted to get more involved on campus, and I found that there were a ton of really cool clubs, but nothing that I really connected with. And I was thinking of ideas, and I talked about them with friends, and the idea of a horror movie club came up, and everyone thought, wow, that's just such a good idea. And so I started working on it with my co-founder and best friend, Alex Dance. They are the treasurer of our club, and ever since then, we've just been expanding it, and we've been really happy with the growth so far.
That sounds amazing. So what's the process for starting a club?
Yeah, so first you have to find a group to start it with. Most people just find a president and treasurer and advisor. And then I was thinking of possible advisors, and Professor Halloran, I had her for Gothic literature, and we really connected. She loved horror movies. I asked her, and she said, I've been waiting for someone to ask me to start a club with them. Yes, absolutely. So we did that, and then it would just be a lot of meetings, a lot of calls, a lot of texting of how we were thinking of doing the meetings, because we had to write the Constitution by ourselves, which doesn't take too long, but you definitely have to put thought into it. And overall, you just need to put your heart and soul into it, because it is such a big process, but it gets easier over time, especially when you get that group that's really into the club like you are.
Nice. So what do you guys end up doing in club meetings?
Yeah, so we have two different types of meetings. So the first is movie nights. So we have one of those a month, and then it's basically we show a horror movie and we have a little conversation afterwards. It's just a great atmosphere, so people can either see a movie they've seen 100 times or never even heard of. And then another one that we have is going to be our game nights. So game nights is a bit of a general term. It's pretty much anything that's not a movie. So if you were to do trivia, if you were to play some board games, the next one we're doing is murder mystery. So I'm writing a murder mystery, and then there's a ton of groups that are going to solve it, and it's overall a way to have a good time with the group. So
nice. So what's your background within the horror industry, and how did you get into horror films?
Yeah, so a lot of people assume because I am such a horror movie fanatic, I've grown up on horror movies, I've loved them all my life. I was a scaredy cat when I was a kid. Generally, I was horrified of horror. Then one of my best friends showed me a clip from the It movie with the clown Pennywise from 2017. And I said, this is not scary at all. And I realized that I wasn't as scared of horror as I thought I might be. So I get a lot of questions as to, I'm scared of horror movies, can I join? The answer is absolutely. So as long as you are interested in, celebrating the horror genre, having some fun at some spooky meetings, you can totally join. You don't have to be a huge horror fan or anything, though if you are, that would definitely be a great place for you. But still, and there's a few ways you can join. Number one, I definitely recommend going on our campus groups, our Perch portal. We're just Spooky Ospreys. You can join there and get the emails. You can also follow us on Instagram, message us on Instagram. I check it every single day, so if you have any questions, I would recommend getting in contact with me.
So what do you think people will take away from this experience, and what do you enjoy most about the club?
Yeah, so I've had a lot of people come up to me and say that this club really helped them find friends. What's really heartwarming is whenever I have freshmen or first years joining the club, because I know that college is such a scary time, and the fact that they want to go out of their shell to meet other horror fans, it really does warm my heart. I wish I had something like this my first year. I was in other clubs, but this is just so perfect for me. And I have had a lot of people too that they love horror, and a lot of people have been able to find friends through this club. After our informational meeting, there were a few groups that stayed around and talked for 20 minutes afterwards. They'd never met before. And I feel like that's the most rewarding part. The fact that I was able to build this community out of people that otherwise may not have ever talked. They're in different social circles, but it's just been such a great experience.
That's so nice to hear. Well, thank you so much for being here today. Everyone, Mac Anderson.
Thank you.
President of Spooky Ospreys. And all of those watching at home, there's no better time than now to get involved. So be sure to keep up to date with the next club meeting, and remember, in every which way, what goes around comes around. We'll catch you guys next time.